It's time now for the best high school sports action from the WBCB Sports Network. Catch the best games from Bucks and Mercer County at WBCBsports.com and our Facebook page. Your home for high school sports is right here at WBCB 1490.
The show begins with the original schools introduction featuring flute soloist Addison Bowler and the saxophone section. The introduction gives a visual overview of the business states of matter. In part 1, we dive into the solid state of matter as we perform hooks, our uniform hooks. Solid presents itself as full, the foundation, stable, and can vary in size. With solid, we conduct our human conditions, connect our human conditions to the idea of being a fully realized person. Not only strong physically, but also strong mentally. We express confidence, trust, and a strong will to do whatever we put our minds to. As we transition to liquid, we demonstrate clean, flowing, and flexible movements of fluid matter. We perform a three pieces. Rifting Wedge by Julie Giroux, Widow Blue by Jacob Collier, and Oceanary, performed by Billy Ice. Through these arrangements, the performers will safely, emotionally movement in their space. The ebb and flow of emotions, and accepting our emotions for what they are as we look at climactic change through the very expression. We close our show with moving notes, left, right, and inside. And our left is Yes, presents with the own taking us through forever good. We conduct this, connect this, every sensation that we belong and being human for the comfortable sacred movement. We also connect with the power of influence wherever we belong there because Drum majors, is the band ready? Ladies and gentlemen, the Neshaminy Redskins marching band.
Starts with a simple truth. We matter. From the core of our being, to the ways we move through this world, we exist in different states. strength also flows. Liquid, ever-changing, always moving. It curves and bends, adapting, reshaping, healing. Like water, we shift with emotion. Smooth, expressive, real. Joy, sadness, love, doubt. They pour from us and shape who we are. And in these waves, we learn to accept, to understand, to feel. Liquid is not weakness. It is the power of vulnerability, the beauty of change. I am emotion. I am liquid. Now we rise. Gas, a state without boundaries. It expands, it reaches, it fills every space it enters. We become that state. Limitless, uncontained. We take up space, not because we have to, because we
That's the one that I usually go to.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Neshaminy High School Marching Band.
It's a little strange.
Kent's Tree Service, right here in Lower Bucks County. 23 years of expert tree service, emergencies, 24/7 service, is your trusted professional for any tree service needs that you have. Kent's Tree Service, many years of experience successfully providing tree services here in Lower Bucks County and even parts of Montgomery County. Their whole team provides the utmost care when working on your property and are experts you can trust for any tree removal, tree trimming, lot clearing, and so much more. Bonded and insured, you can be assured of professional results from their highly experienced service professionals. Kent's Tree Service, quality tree service, right here in Lower Bucks County. Call them today at 215-547-9744. That's 215-547-9744. Kent's Quality Tree Service. 23 years of expert tree service.
Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365. Come home to traditional Italian cuisine. The Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township.
Hey BCWSA customers, this is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. My friends at BCWSA are committed to providing us with safe, reliable water and sewer services. They operate state-of-the-art treatment facilities, provide clean drinking water, and make much-needed investments to protect our environment and ensure a sustainable future. Learn how BCWSA's investments help grow and serve our communities. Visit bcwsa.net. BCWSA, prove it.
Parents, are you looking for an athletic performance coach for your child with over 25 years of experience? Coaches, are you looking for a strength and conditioning coach that has coached youth to professional teams to record success? Your only choice is the Kalinowski Performance Academy. The Kalinowski Performance Academy is the area leader in personal, group, team academy prep, and return-to-play training. The Kalinowski Performance Academy believes that everyone should have an opportunity to be their best. Go to trainlikecal.com to be Cal's next success story. That's trainlikecal.com, spelled K-A-L.
Are you living with relentless pain? St. Mary has a new way to help. Knee and hip replacements with a smarter process for faster recovery, earning prestigious awards for quality and value. A rapid recovery program has you walking just hours after surgery, and breakthrough advances such as custom-fit joints position you for a longer pain-free life. 215-710-5888. St. Mary Orthopedics. It's your health. Expect more.
Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat-screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs.
1490 WBCB Levittown and Trenton, and video stream live at WBCBsports.com. Your home for the best local sports in Bucks and Mercer counties.
From Harry E. Frank Stadium on the campus of Neshaminy High School, we welcome you to the PIAA District 1 Class 6A quarterfinals on WBCB, where tonight the 11 seed Neshaminy Skins return home for the first time in over a month as they get set to take on the 14 seed Owen J Roberts Wildcats. and a pleasant good evening to all of you. Alongside my broadcast partner, Nick Gallagher, I'm Jordan Hirsch. Well, last week, Neshaminy did something they hadn't done in the last 7 years, and that's win a playoff game as they went on the road and took down the CB West Bucks in the opening round. Now they look to accomplish something they have not been able to do in a decade, and that's advance to the district semifinals. In order to do so, they will have to contend with this OJR squad who bounced them from this tournament in the first round just last year. Turnovers plagued the Skins in that 38-24 loss, as Michael Eckert threw a career-high 5 interceptions, and the game was pretty much over by halftime. But Nick, this Neshaminy team and this version of Michael Eckert wouldn't even recognize themselves from that demoralizing night in Pottstown just 371 days ago. This team feels like they can beat anyone, and tonight they're out for revenge.
They absolutely are, Jordan. It's a pleasant to be with you tonight for the very exciting playoff game between the 11 and the 14 seed. And if you asked this Neshaminy fan base a month ago if they thought they'd be back here at Heartbreak Ridge, you would poll them maybe be 50-50, 60-40. And Neshaminy has really done themselves right towards the end of the season, winning a playoff game, a tough place to play at CB West last week. But looking at tonight's game for their offense, it's really going to be about their big play ability with their quarterback, Michael Eckert, Carter Klee, the receiving core, their special teams, and this Neshaminy team has really got to use their big play ability that they know they have in crucial downs and distances as well, converting and keeping their drives alive as they did so well and effectively last week on the road. And for Neshaminy's defense today, use the home crowd to your advantage. You're back at home, you're comfortable, get off to a hot start, and make OJR uncomfortable from the jump.
And now in order for Neshaminy, in order for them to enact their revenge over a year in the making, they're going to have to slow down this Wildcats offense, which is led primarily by their junior running back, Makai Graham. This unit is built around possessing the football, bleeding down the clock with long, extensive drives, and Graham is certainly a guy who fits right into that philosophy.
Yeah, Makai Graham is leading them in offensive stats this year. 15 rushing touchdowns for him, 1,600 yards on the ground for Makai Graham. And one thing OJR did really well in a tough place to play last week on the road against Downingtown West. Downingtown West in the last 3 seasons was 17-3 combined at home, and they escaped with a 10-7 victory on the last play of the game. And to earn that victory last week set them up with a date with Neshaminy, so they really earned to be here. But Jordan, they ran the ball and ran the ball and ran the ball all night last week. Chris Flynn, the quarterback for OJR, only went 3 for 4 for 50 yards last week. Makai Graham had 131 yards on the ground on 37 carries and a touchdown. And they really chewed up the clock last week against Downingtown West. A 16-minute, 44-second total control of the second half. And it was that's prior to Downingtown West's last drive. They held a 54-24 play advantage and really possessed the football last week in a tough place to play. And that's going to be something tonight they're going to do on the road again against the Neshaminy offense and their team.
Well, for the first time since 2022, a double-digit seed will be in the District 1 6A semifinals. Will it be Neshaminy or will it be Owen J Roberts? Find out next, because kickoff is coming up right after this on WBCB. A proud supporter of Neshaminy Skins High School football on WBCB Sports is the N Club. Don't forget to visit the snack stand at the game tonight for some yummy treats and show your Neshaminy pride. Check out the Pride Wear tonight for all of your merchandise. And a special thank you to our sponsors: Chick-fil-A Neshaminy, Automotive Training Center, Bailey's Bar and Grill, Code 3 Records Artist Services, Fireside Inn, First National Bank of Newtown, Frank Ferry, JJKL Construction LLC, Patient First, Sandy's Beef and Ale, and Travel Services by Tiffany.
This is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. Every champion needs a good game plan. BCWSA and I want to make sure you have a game plan when it comes to conserving our most precious resource, water. Whether you're washing dishes, brushing your teeth, or watering your garden, there are ways you can save water and save money. Visit bcwsa.net for tips on conserving water. BCWSA, proven.
There really is nothing like a home team advantage. That's why Team Toyota makes a great choice for your next vehicle purchase or service. With our MVP pricing guarantee, teammate rewards program, and streamlined customer experience, our award-winning operation ensures that you can trust our process. A home team advantage is nothing without the community. Our employees are part of our family, part of your town, and we're all part of the team. We're always here for you at one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, and Glen Mills.
Rob's Automotive and Collision Center in Lower Bucks County is a full-service repair center with competitive prices, top-of-the-line products, and the finest auto body and mechanical repair technicians anywhere. Rob's makes repairing your car easy. Same-day service guaranteed. Whether it's an oil change, state inspection, or a mechanical issue, Rob's will have you in and out and on your way. 2700 Veterans Highway in Bristol, 215-826-9200 for 24-hour emergency towing. Call 215-826-0250.
Don't let joint pain bring you down. See how you can get relief at a free joint pain seminar at St. Mary Orthopedics. Joint care experts will inform and answer questions about diagnosing, managing, and treating joint problems and knowing when it's time for a joint replacement. Ready to get back to life? Get to the next free joint pain seminar. Details at stmaryhealthcare.org/joint seminar. It's your health. Expect more.
Kent's Tree Service, right here in Lower Bucks County, 23 years of expert tree service, emergencies, 24/7 service, is your trusted professional for any tree service needs that you have. Kent's Tree Service, many years of experience successfully providing tree services here in Lower Bucks County and even parts of Montgomery County. Their whole team provides the utmost care when working on your property and are experts you can trust for any tree removal, tree trimming, lot clearing, and so much more. Bonded and insured, you can be assured of professional results from their highly experienced service professionals. Kent's Tree Service, quality tree service, right here in Lower Bucks County. Call them today at 215-547-9744. That's 215-547-9744. Kent's Quality Tree Service. 23 years of expert tree service.
Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365. Come home to traditional Italian cuisine. The Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township. 1490 WBCB Levittown and Trenton, and video stream live at WBCBsports.com. Your home for the best local sports in Bucks and Mercer counties.
Today's game on WBCB is being brought to you by the St. Mary Medical Center, the Revere Restaurant, Team Toyota, the N Club, Kent's Tree Service, Rob's Automotive and Collision, BCWSA, Kalinowski Performance Academy, the Trentonian, the Irish Rover Station House, and Peruzzi Buick GMC. Neshaminy, they won the toss, and Nick, they said, we want the football. So the Skins offense will be up first after this opening kickoff. Neshaminy looking to enact their revenge. They fell 38-24 to Owen J Roberts on the road last season in the first round. Like I talked about in the pregame, 5 interceptions for Michael Eckert in that game. But Nick, it's a little different version of Michael Eckert this season, right? He has just 3 total interceptions all year, and he talked about it in his post-game interview as the player of the game last week that he's looking for revenge. It's on his mind coming into this game. Brock Williams, Nick Sassano back deep to receive, and off we go in the District 1 6A quarterfinals. Fielded at the 20 by Mike Sassano, and then he gets shoved out of bounds just across the 30, and that's where Michael Eckert and company will begin the night.
Well, for this Neshaminy offense, let's see if they can repeat what they did offensively last week. Eckert and Klee both rushed for over 100 yards for the first time this season. And Neshaminy has been throwing the ball a lot lately. Michael Eckert, 232, 234, 238, 248 in his last 5 games, 10 touchdowns, 1 interception coming into tonight.
This drive begins from Neshaminy's own 31, and it starts with a quarterback-designed run with Eckert. He's across the 35 to the 38. That's a gain of 7. Well, Nick, you talk about his passing ability. Also, a very talented runner is Eckert this season. 5.5 yards per carry. Came into this game 689 yards on the ground and 9 touchdowns. Had 2 of those last week against CB West. 2nd and 3, quick screen. Here's Nick Sassano in space. He's down the sideline with a first down and more. And this Neshaminy offense with a pretty picture-perfect start to begin this quarterfinal game.
You can see they're comfortable already getting this up-tempo offense going, as it's been the last several weeks. If you've been following this Neshaminy team, that's when they're at their best and most efficient.
Eckert last week, 19 of 26, 232 yards, 19 carries and 103 yards. Pair of touchdowns through the air and a pair of touchdowns on the ground. And on 1st and 10, here's Carter Klee to the ground. He's got a big hole. He's going to run by everyone. 3 plays is all it takes. Neshaminy in the end zone. Carter Klee from 42 yards. 6-0 Skins as Klee on his first touch of the night explodes through that opening on the left side of the line.
Well, we mentioned for Neshaminy's offense and the keys to the game for them, their big playability. And what do they do on the first drive? Just a couple plays, and Carter Klee, who else, takes it to the house for the first score of tonight's game.
Steven Busek, the left-footed kicker, out to add the extra point. Hold will be from Mike Sassano. It's up and good. Can't ask for a much better start than this. 59 seconds in, Neshaminy on top 7-0. Carter Klee, how about the season he has had? Went over 1,000 yards on the ground last week. Last week, 15 carries for 101 yards. It was his 5th 100-plus rushing yard game of the season. He had a big game when these two teams hooked up last season in the first round, Nick. 22 carries, 145 yards, and 2 touchdowns in that losing effort. But he starts out the night by continuing to give the Wildcats some nightmares.
Yeah, you got to think Nick Felix and the coaching staff really evaluated that tape coming into tonight's game and just seeing what worked so well for Carter Klee. And you got to expect a lot of those kind of plays that Owen J Roberts saw last year in that game. Even though Neshaminy lost, they're probably going to be called tonight, and maybe Neshaminy made some adjustments, saw some things they liked, and were able to adjust right there on the first drive of the game.
It was Klee's 8th rushing touchdown of the season right there, as he's now nearing 1,100 yards. A squib kick from Busek. It checks up and is juggled. That was Tyler Drumheller, who had his knee on the ground as he received it. And now out trots this Owen J Roberts Wildcats offense. OJR, the 14 seed, took down the defending champion Downingtown West Whippets last week. OJR 8-3 this season, and they're a very run-heavy offense led by their junior running back Makai Graham. 37 carries for 131 yards and a touchdown last week in the game against Downingtown West. Their signal caller is the quarterback Chris Flynn. In the I formation, it's a give to Makai Graham as a flag flies, a couple of them. Graham's got a few yards out to the 34, but we'll check the marker. And it's an illegal substitution against OJR. That'll back them up 5 yards, set up 1st and 15.
Well, if you're in Neshaminy, that's a good thing to see. 8 penalties last week for 67 yards. The Central Bucks West had nothing, no penalties. And you got to expect Jordan Neshaminy really wanted to eliminate those penalties and not give OJR extended drives, which is really going to be crucial for OJR to keep their drives alive and get them on the scoreboard.
That's what they like to do. They like to bleed out the clock, and sometimes their best defense is their offense. Here's Graham once again as he scampers up the middle, and he gets dropped around the 30 by a trio of skins. Nick Sassano, his twin brother Mike was in there. Looked like Brock Williams mixing it up as well. He got to the original line of scrimmage. It's a pickup of 5. And it'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for OJR. OJR, no strangers to the postseason. This is their 5th straight playoff appearance and their 7th since 2016. But it's their first time in the district, or the 2nd time in the district quarterfinals since 2009. Of course, they got there last year. Here's a toss to Graham around the edge, and he's across the 35 out to the 37. We're going to be calling Makai Graham's name a whole lot tonight, Nick, like you talked about in the pregame. Chris Flynn, the quarterback, only threw the ball 4 times in that 10-7 win last week. He's also a guy who could use his legs, but Graham is the focal point of this offense.
Yeah, Graham has a Syracuse offer as a junior, so he's got another year here at OJR, and you could get a lot more offers with impressive play that he's already shown.
3rd and 3 to the air for the first time. Flynn now he'll tuck and run, and he's got enough for the first. Always beneficial to have a dual threat quarterback, especially in this day and age of football. And you see Chris Flynn, nothing was open. He'll just take off. Like any team, Nick, this OJR squad, they've got a plethora of wide receivers, but the 2 main guys that you got to watch out for are junior Matt Gregory and senior Adam Stahl. They're the leaders in the receiving game. Gregory, 788 yards, 5 touchdowns through the air for Stahl, 335 and 6 scores. 1st and 10 from their own 44. Here's a toss to the other side with Graham. Eludes 1 tackler, turns the corner across the 50 before finally getting ridden out of bounds by Brock Williams. And it looks like the back judge might get Williams for a horse collar tackle as a flag comes in at the end of that play, much to the chagrin of that Neshaminy sideline and head coach Nick Felis. There you go. This they call the late hit. And that should tack on 15 extra yards now for OJR and give them that fresh set of downs. We talked about it at length last week, right? Sometimes Neshaminy, they're going good. They're the only team that can beat them is themselves. 8 penalties, 67 yards last week, and a lot of them came in pretty critical spots. And a lot of them were of that 15-yard variety as well. And so now the Wildcats set up in Neshaminy territory on the 34. Flynn wants to throw, has the screen set up with Matt Gregory. Gregory off to the races, and he gets spun down right around the line to gain. You're going to see a lot of similarities between these 2 offenses. And they say that Gregory had just enough to move the chains. OJR, they hail from the Pioneer Conference in the Liberty Division. Went 3-3 in divisional games this season. Here's 1st and 10 from the 24. It's a handoff. Graham has space, bursts up the gut, and gets chopped down around the legs by Mike Sassano. And Makai Graham out to the 15. He's got 9 on that 1st and 10 play.
You see that penalty against Neshaminy has really electrified this OJR offense after it, taking advantage of those 15 yards. They've been able to move down into Neshaminy territory on their opening drive.
Second down and 1, back to the I formation. Flynn will turn and give to Graham. He's up the gut again. He's got a 1st down, and he's right around a goal-to-go scenario, but he's going to be about a yard short. Luke Howland on that tackle. It sets up 1st and 10 from the 11. Neshaminy's defense certainly no strangers to facing very run-heavy offenses, especially towards the end of this season. As a result, some of their sack totals have gone down, but that's just because these defensive linemen haven't even had the opportunities to get after the quarterbacks. 1st and 10 from the 11. Wildcats looking for a quick response. It's Graham. He puts his shoulder down. He's out near the 5. And he's got a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 4. I've got a feeling that we're going to be sounding like a broken record all night long.
Well, the thing about OJR's offense, that run-heavy style, it can wear you down, and especially in a playoff game, even though Neshaminy's at home. So you got to stay alert because they have the receivers in Gregory and Stahl to do it as well, and they can hit you at any time with either one.
A lot of the onus is going to be on the Neshaminy defensive front in this one. It's right back to Graham, and a good job by that Neshaminy D-line. Lucas Stewart, Carson Schneider coming up from the linebacker spot. Milo Makes as well was in the area. And it brings up 3rd and short. And this is where Neshaminy got progressively better as last week's game went on. They allowed some big 3rd down conversions, including the 2nd touchdown of the game, a Nick Mileto run on a 3rd and 4. But really after the 1st quarter last week, they locked it down in their 3rd down defense.
Remember, too, Neshaminy trailed 14-0 on the road last week, scored 21 straight 2nd quarter points.
The motion man is Adam Stahl for 3rd and a yard. Flynn to the air, scans, rolls, fires, tipped, incomplete. Carson Schneider got his mitts on it. And now decision time for head coach Rich Kolka and this Wildcats squad. Do you go for it? They do have a good kicker in senior Ryan Tuhey. Tuhey nailed the game-winning field goal in the 3rd quarter last week.
Surprised they elected to throw it on a 3rd and 2 with Graham. I mean, it was a very, very short distance, not like it was 3rd and 5 or longer.
They're going to go for it. Maybe that decision was made with this predetermined, that they were going to go for it on 4th down. Now it's Graham. He puts his shoulder down into the Neshaminy D-line, and he got stopped. Was he short of the 1st down marker? He was certainly short of the goal line. He could have got a 1st down without scoring a touchdown. And I believe that is what the call is. He got inside the 1, so moved the chains. Neshaminy's defense celebrated a bit too early, perhaps. So now 1st and goal inside the 1. This is almost automatic territory. Flynn will just sneak it himself. Looking for a signal. And he's in for the touchdown. And the Wildcats strike right back. It's 7-6. And that's OJR football to a T. They respond to Neshaminy's 59-second drive with a drive of just over 6 minutes. And it results in the same. That's a trip into the end zone. And now Tuhey with a chance to add the extra point and even this one up. Line drive kick, it's up and good. We're even at 7. For Chris Flynn, that is his 5th rushing touchdown of the season. Came into this game with 552 yards on the ground. And so far, Nick, through the first drive for each team, both execute their game plans.
Yeah, those scripted plays, you want to say, Jordan, the first 15 to 20 scripted plays for each team look good, and Neshaminy only didn't have to run that many yet. But, yeah, very good offensive for both teams tonight. Maybe we're in for another shootout kind of game tonight. We'll see. But Neshaminy's offense works so quickly, you don't want them to do that all night long. They're scoring, but they're not kind of giving their defense a breather. And you just know, and how much we've talked about how OJR's offense can be very, very methodical and eat clock. I mean, they took up 5-6 minutes already right there from their drive after the Neshaminy opening touchdown.
Yeah, obviously if you're Neshaminy, you want to put points on the board by any means necessary, but it might be beneficial to the defense to have some more longer drawn-out drives.
But you'll take points on any drive you can get, especially a 42-yard run by Carter Klee as they did the previous one.
Mike Sassano has some space along the sideline, and he delivers the boom across the 40. Mike Sassano shot out of a cannon. We're not used to seeing him on these kickoff returns. It's typically Brock Williams or Sassano's brother, Nick. But Mike's looked pretty good on these first two.
Looked explosive, too. Maybe a little bit of a secret weapon that Neshaminy can unlock tonight.
So we've talked about the struggles that Neshaminy experienced last season against OJR in the playoffs. Michael Eckert in that game, just 6 for 18, 68 yards, and 5 interceptions, including 4 in the first half. He threw a pair of pick sixes in the final minute of the first half, and OJR got out to a 35-9 halftime lead. Neshaminy cut it back down to 11, but that mountain was a little too steep to climb. 1st and 10, Eckert. He finds a little hole in the left side of that offensive line, and he's into Wildcat territory to the 47. And he's got 7 right there, sets up 2nd down and 3. Michael Eckert bound and determined to have a much better game tonight than he did last season. In his last 3 games, he's been balling. 74% completion rate, 952 yards, 10 touchdowns to just 1 pick. Here's a screen with Brock Williams. First time we get to call the Speedy Jr.'s name here. He makes a couple men miss. Down the sideline, out of bounds around the 30.
Neshaminy having their way early on offensively, doing whatever they want, whenever they wanted. And OJR has yet to stop them or slow them down or have any answers.
It's now 1st and 10 from the 32. Eckert keeps, fires, complete to Williams. Not much there as Matt Gregory rode him to the turf. Neshaminy playing here on their home turf for the first time in 34 days. It's been since the loss to Penridge back on October 3rd since we've been back here in our spot in the Neshaminy press box. Eckert, he'll take it up the gut down near the 25, and he'll set up 3rd down and manageable. This is more Neshaminy football that we're used to seeing. These screen plays, quarterback designed runs, the gives to Klee. We saw last week Neshaminy stray away from their game plan a little bit. Of course, it ended up working out. This is classic Neshaminy football here through the first 9 minutes of this game. On 3rd and 5, Eckert slant route, and that one got tipped at the line of scrimmage. It'll set up 4th down, and undoubtedly Neshaminy is going to go for this.
Mike Sassano, the intended receiver, had the inside leverage if Eckert was able to connect on that slant, and may have been close to a touchdown if they were able to connect.
Well, now Neshaminy looking for a big 4th down conversion. Certainly had their fair share last week. Eckert, he's back, looking, taking a shot at the end zone with Williams, and he overthrew him. And OJR's defense holds. And now the Wildcats with a chance to flip this scoreboard and take their first lead.
That's a huge stop for OJR defensively, as Neshaminy's offense comes up empty on their 2nd drive after a nice drive to get them down inside the 30.
Neshaminy's defense, which has just been exceptional all season long, trots back out on the field. If you don't count special team scoring or scoring off of turnovers, Neshaminy's defense has allowed just 13.5 points per game this year. That would rank 9th among all 6A teams. Here's a toss to Graham, and he's going nowhere but backwards, swarmed. Behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 25. And that's a loss of a couple of yards. And so OJR goes back to that well with that toss play to Graham, and Milo makes Nick Sassano. They were there to snuff that one out. Neshaminy tonight looking to continue the trend of this tournament being dominated by SOL teams. Flynn hits Gregory on the slant route, bounces off a tackle, and now he's off to the races. Gregory will take it all the way for the touchdown. Now that is some physicality. As OJR takes their first lead, it's 13-7.
Well, we warned you for OJR coming in tonight. As much as we talked about Makai Graham, they got weapons on the outside. Matt Gregory using some physicality, bouncing off some Neshaminy defenders, and he just breaks one loose to the house, 75 yards for the Wildcat touchdown.
Gregory's 6th receiving touchdown of the season, and he looked like a bowling ball the way he just bounced off that tackle. It almost gave him an extra boost and put him into the open space. Tuhey bangs the extra point through, and in the blink of an eye, it's 14-7 OJR. They've scored 14 points in less than 3 minutes. I'll let you know that Peruzzi Buick GMC, where our business is you. Right now at Peruzzi Buick GMC, it's a year-end clearance sale on GMC Sierras. 20% off MSRP on Peruzzi's entire inventory of Sierras. You can find them Business Route 1 in Fairless Hills. Peruzzi Buick GMC, where our business is you. Great food, fine spirits, and good times are always on the menu at the Irish Rover Station House in Langhorne, opposite the SEPTA train station. The Irish Rover is your home for all Philly sports, and happy hour every Monday through Friday, 4 to 7 p.m. You could head over there and watch the Birds take on the Packers on Monday night. The Irish Rover Station House located at 1033 South Bellevue Avenue in Langhorne, opposite the SEPTA train station. This kickoff goes to the other side of the field. And Nick Sassano's across the 30. And now if you're in Neshaminy, you almost feel like you just got a shock to your system, right? 3 plays, that's all they needed to score the opening touchdown. Went up 7-0 before a minute came off the clock. And now you've got 1:57 to go in this first quarter. You're trailing 14-7. You almost feel like you've played the better game, right? You had a drive stall on 4th down, but were able to march the football down the field. Of course, the electric opening drive, and then all of a sudden, OJR hits you with a 75-yard passing play.
It's almost familiar territory for Neshaminy. As I just mentioned in the previous drive, you're down 14-0 on the road. Tonight, a little bit of similar situation, except you're down 14-7 at home.
Yeah, this team is not going to fret just because they're trailing early. Here's a give to Klee, looking for an angle, and none came up. Driven down at the 35, and just a gain of 2 that time for Carter Klee, and his second touch goes much differently than his first did.
And notice how quiet it is here already early on at Heartbreak Ridge after 14 unanswered from the Wildcats. That's something they were trying to do. It was crucial coming into tonight's game. Eliminate that home field advantage for Neshaminy.
This place is packed. 2nd and 8. Eckert keeps. Dashes up the middle, and he falls forward across the 40. They're going to mark him down right there at the 40-yard line and give him 5 yards on the quarterback keep. It is pretty impressive what Eckert has done with his legs these last couple of weeks. 200 yards on the ground the last 2 weeks. And that was after really not getting anything going the previous few weeks on the ground. 3rd and 3, it's Klee looking for an opening, and none came up again. Man, give this OJR defensive line a ton of credit. Looked like that time it was Lucas Schrum and Brecken Palaya in there on the tackle, and they're going to force the 3 and out. OJR, after they got punched in the mouth in the opening minute, they have taken complete control of this game. There's about 5 seconds separating the play clock and the game clock, so Neshaminy will have to snap this. It is not Tristan Rivera, by the way, punting. He's been dealing with an injury. It's Michael Eckert, and that's a pretty good one for Eckert on his first punt of the season. Down at the 35 by Mike Sassano. Double zeros are on the clock, which means 12 minutes have elapsed in this one. We've still got 36 to go. Wildcat football, they lead 14-7 when we come back here in the PIAA District 1 Class 6A quarterfinals on WBCB.
Are you living with relentless pain? St. Mary has a new way to help. Knee and hip replacements with a smarter process for faster recovery, earning prestigious awards for quality and value. A rapid recovery program has you walking just hours after surgery, and breakthrough advances such as custom-fit joints position you for a longer pain-free life. 215-710-5888. St. Mary Orthopedics. It's your health. Expect more.
Hey BCWSA customers, this is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League Champion Phillies. My friends at BCWSA are committed to providing us with safe, reliable water and sewer services. They operate state-of-the-art treatment facilities, provide clean drinking water, and make much-needed investments to protect our environment and ensure a sustainable future. Learn how BCWSA's investments help grow and serve our communities. Visit bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
Second quarter of action getting set to commence here in the PIAA District 1 Class 6A quarterfinals. OJR on top 14-7. They've scored on both of their drives. Now after forcing a 3-and-out, they've got the football back on their own 35. Flynn fakes the toss, and he did not fool the Neshaminy defense, specifically Rocco Gregory, Brock Williams, and Carson Schneider, who were there to drop him after a gain of just a yard. For Neshaminy, this is their first time in the District 1 6A quarterfinals since 2018. They've not been to the district semis since 2015, which was Steve Wilmot's first season at the helm. That was back when there were only 4 classifications. They beat Quakertown that year in the quarterfinals. Here's a quick throw to the outside, connecting with Adam Stahl. And he's got the first down, and a good tackle that time by Nick Sassano right at midfield. And that's the first time we've called Stahl's name in this one.
Well, for an offense that's been very run-centric this season, I mean, Chris Flynn, even though we mentioned he only had 4 attempts last week for 50 yards, he got well eclipsed of that already in the first quarter. But he has thrown the ball well, 500 yards through the air this year, and now tonight his 5th passing touchdown.
Yeah, it's not that he can't throw the ball. He can. It's just you've got Makai Graham, who's got that offer from Syracuse as a junior. This time Flynn takes off and nothing doing. Met at midfield by Dan McGarity. That's what makes a team like this so dangerous, right? You've got a junior running back who's over 1,600 yards, so he's the focal point in film study and the guy you're keying in on in practice every day this week, right? But then at the same time, you got to deal with guys like Matt Gregory and Adam Stahl in the passing game, and Chris Flynn, certainly a quarterback that can get them the football. It's a very well-balanced offense when they're clicking. And right now, the Wildcats, they are. Quick throw here, and now in space, taking off his Stahl, and you just see the speed. That's the other thing that this Wildcat team can do. They don't necessarily have to hit you over the top. You see these quick screens, these quick out routes, and it's just let the wide receivers get in space and do the rest. And it's kind of a similar game plan that Cheltenham had when they came in here and beat Neshaminy back in September. There's a skin down on the field. That's Rocco Gregory, and while they tend to him, we'll step aside. 10:04 to go, second quarter. OJR on top by 7 here on WBCB.
Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat-screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs.
Rocco Gregory was able to get up and walk off the field under his own power, which is good to see. But now in a Neshaminy defense that's already down Tristan Rivera in this game, at least for the time being, down one of their top linebackers in Gregory now as well. 1st and 10, OJR. Flynn with time, taking a shot, And it's Stahl again, but the hit knocked it loose. He had control, and then Nick Sassano said, not so fast, buddy.
Good read from Sassano to get there in time to break that one up. That would have been a huge gain and another first down for this Wildcat offense.
Gregory back in there. And without Rivera, right, it's going to be on guys like Nick Sassano, his brother Mike, of course, Brock Williams, you see filling in at the cornerback and safety position. It's really more Nick Sassano filling in as the safety, and then Williams replaces him as one of the corners. 2nd and 10. They've still got Graham, and he's still got a burst. McCry Graham with another first down. Sassano was the one who brought him down, but it was more like Graham lowering the shoulder into Sassano, and that's what just stopped his momentum. That's a first down to the 24. And right now, this OJR offense doing whatever they want. Scored just 10 points against Downingtown West last week. Of course, as you could see, they're already over that mark here tonight. Doing it with a much more balanced attack this time around. Graham gets swallowed up. There's number 52, Owen Schwartz. Had that big sack on a 4th down last week against CB West, and that's the first time we've called his name tonight, dropping Graham for a loss of a yard. Owen Schwartz, that's tackle for loss number 13 of the season. Ranks 2nd on the team in TFLs, just behind Corey Kenoy Webb. And a lot of that was during the first half of the season for Kenoy Webb when he was filling in for Lucas Stewart. Play action on 2nd and 11. Flynn running out of time. He's just going to throw it away. The crowd wanted a holding call on that. They won't get it, but now Neshaminy's defense with a prime opportunity to force their first stop on 3rd and 11.
This is a big 3rd down stop for the Neshaminy defense. As they try to help their offense out here, get them back on the field.
For Owen J Roberts, they've enjoyed a lot of success the last few seasons. 25-9 combined record since the start of 2023. They have 11 straight seasons at or above 500. They need a big 3rd down conversion here. Flynn, they set up the screen with Gregory. It's well defended. And Rocco Gregory with an excellent tackle. That's a Gregory on Gregory crime. And the one on Neshaminy's side was able to win the battle and drop Matt Gregory for a gain of just 3. And that'll set up 4th and long, and in no man's land right here, Wildcats will go for it.
Not too far from when Neshaminy's second drive stalled out.
Yeah, Neshaminy was right in this position just a few minutes ago. OJR forced to stop. Neshaminy looking to return the favor. Bad snap. It's picked up by Flynn. Now he's just looking to take off. Breaks one tackle, and he's close. Did he get to the marker? I think he did. There is a flag down. That play looked all sorts of wonky from the start. And now the officials will be in discussion. This is a huge call right here, and an excellent job by Flynn to take what was a broken down play on 4th and 8, and they pick up the flag, and so Flynn's efforts get rewarded with that first down. Nobody was even set. Flynn wasn't ready to receive the snap. He was fortunate that it just dropped right in front of him, broke a tackle, and picked up the first.
That's a huge first down as Chris Flynn turns garbage into gold there on a broken play.
So now inside the red zone for 1st and 10. It's a give. It's Graham. He's got a first down for now, and you could kind of hear from our crowd, Mike, the fans and parents here in attendance, they wanted a holding call, and they're going to get it. And that one will go against Samuel Herring, one of the backup offensive linemen. Now 1st and 20, way back to the 24. And these are the series that Neshaminy's defense has to win, especially trailing now, if they want to be able to pick up that revenge. Here's Graham, little stutter step move and not much doing there on 1st down. Down to the 21, it's another pickup of 3, and I'll tell you what, Nick, so far this defensive line, all things considered, they're doing a good job on the 1,600-yard rusher.
Yeah, Graham's broken a couple tackles, but nothing substantial yet. They've really kept him in check and try to limit to any breakout rushes, which is going to be crucial for the Neshaminy defense overall tonight, is to limit Graham as much as you can.
Neshaminy goes with a bit of a heavier set, bringing Milo Makes back in. Corey Kenoy-Webb checks out for 2nd down and 17. Gonna throw it out of the eye, gonna go one-on-one coverage in the end zone, and it's caught for the touchdown. 3 drives, 3 scores for OJR, and Matt Gregory has his 2nd TD of the night. 20-7 is your score. And this Wildcat offense looking like a well-oiled machine here in the quarterfinals. We've got a flag at the end of the play for unsportsmanlike conduct against the Wildcats. The touchdown counts. And ever since the first 59 seconds, it is all OJR. Penalty is going to be assessed on the kickoff, we are told.
They've just looked really comfortable, Jordan. They've attacked Neshaminy secondary pretty well and efficiently tonight. We thought it was going to be more of a run-style game as we saw last week against Downingtown West, but they've had other thoughts tonight and trying to hit Neshaminy and find a weak spot in that defense.
We've got a flag before Ryan Tuhey lets the PAT fly, and a false start going up against OJR. And that'll back them up 5 yards. You would think still no problem for a kicker like Tuhey. Nailed the game-winning field goal last week for the Wildcats. So this now becomes a 25-yard PAT, and it's the same result. So Tuhey 3 for 3, 21-7 is your score. And don't forget, if you miss any of today's action, you can read all about it in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian. For your complete local and national news 7 days a week, it's the Trentonian, or online at Trentonian.com. The only newspaper serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County 7 days a week, it's the Trentonian. Well, Nick, Neshaminy no stranger to this position, right? Down 14 in the first half. Gotta believe there's really no butterflies in the stomachs on the skin sideline right now.
No, absolutely not. But really, for them, it's, again, just now their offense, you got to get points on this drive if you're Neshaminy. You got to get back in this game. The Wildcats have really owned the clock here in the first half. Neshaminy 1 for 3 on their drives, a turnover on downs, and a punt so far for them tonight. And they got to get back here. They will be kicking off to start the second half. So you got to get points anytime you can. And now it's almost, the game plan was keep Neshaminy's offense off the field. Well, now all of a sudden you got to find a way to adapt and keep the Wildcats offense off the field.
You wonder if Neshaminy's defense a little surprised that OJR is throwing the ball as much as they have. They ran the ball 49 times and passed the ball just 5 times last week. This kickoff goes out of bounds, and that means a flag is going to fly.
But I also talked about in our pregame that Neshaminy has that big playability. I mean, we've seen it all season long, and they can hit you with it at any time. And that's something, if you're Neshaminy, you feel comfortable with. You can get back in this game, but you got to do it quickly because time might not be on your side, as OJR, with the clock in their offense tonight, could be controlling a lot of the game tonight.
Yeah, and that's what Neshaminy did last week, right? They fell down 14-0 and then scored on their next 3 drives, took that 21-14 lead into the break. Well, as a result of the penalty, well, really the 2 penalties, the one that forced the kickoff to come from the 20 and then the kick out of bounds, Neshaminy is going to begin this drive from midfield. And so prime opportunity now for them to put up their response. 5:54 to go till halftime. Neshaminy trailing by 14. Here's a handoff with Klee. Skirts through the first wave of defense, and there goes Carter Klee. Klee's across the 30, brought down at the 25. He gets halfway to pay dirt. 25-yard gain for Klee. Hasn't been on the field a whole lot in this game just because of OJR's offense and these long drives, but Carter Klee now with 2 big gainers.
And that's what Neshaminy needed.
Klee now up over 1,100 yards on the season, averaging nearly 100 yards per game, with this technically being week 12. Right back to number 5. Klee, this time it's a shorter gain, but he falls forward and he gets halfway to the first down marker this time and a pickup of 5. Carter Klee, this is his 3rd postseason game. He's gone over 100 yards on the ground in each of the first 2, and he's already getting close to that mark here tonight. 2nd and 5. Eckert with time over the middle. There's Mike Sassano. He stays red hot. And Neshaminy answers right back. It's 21-13. And for Mike Sassano, it's his 4th touchdown grab in the last 3 weeks. He is sizzling here late in the season.
And Michael Eckert is feeding into that. Receiver in Sassano, he's really helped this offense these last couple weeks.
Steven Busick, line drive, it's up and good. And it's 21-14, and now both of Neshaminy's touchdown drives have gone just 3 plays and have lasted under a minute.
Well, in Neshaminy, you needed to score. I mean, it just, again, it's happening very quickly, but you're getting your defense right back on the field with 4 minutes to go. Both teams do have all 3 of their timeouts here in this second quarter, but you want to see if your defense can pick you up a little bit here and respond and try to get off the field quickly and hold the Wildcats to a 3 and out.
Well, Nick, what was our conversation before we went on air tonight, right? We were talking about how we thought this game might go, and we were both in agreement that it was probably going to be pretty low scoring just with both of these 2 teams' defensive prowess, the way OJR handles themselves on offense with long drives, and Neshaminy's been pretty similar this entire season. And then we also talked about how we kind of expected that in the Central Bucks East game that finished 41-35, and seems like we're headed more towards that scenario tonight.
Yeah, we could be. We really easily could be. The way the defenses are playing right now, the offenses are just taking advantage of one another. And I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, playoff football is just unpredictable.
Another squib kick and another bobble this time for Drumheller, and he gets swarmed right around the 30. And these squib kicks are working out pretty nicely. I mean, it's a Neshaminy defense that, right, when you take away the special team scoring and the turnovers that lead to scores, they allow just 13.5 points per game. For Owen J Roberts, they give up just 16.7 points per game, which was the #1 scoring defense in the Pioneer Conference Liberty Division. And so, of course, we've got 35 total points with still 4:43 to go till halftime. And now we've got whistles. We've got a flag, and I think Neshaminy's got too many players on the field right now. I think Nick Felis is trying to say he called timeout, and he did. So Felis takes his first timeout to avoid that penalty, noticing there was 1 too many guys out there on the field. And again, I'll let you know that at Peruzzi Buick GMC, where our business is you, right now it's a year-end clearance sale on GMC Sierras, 20% off MSRP. On Peruzzi's entire inventory of Sierras, Buick's offered at 0.9% financing and up to $3,000 off MSRP. Extraordinary savings now at Peruzzi Buick GMC on Sierras and Buicks during this year-end clearance. 20% off MSRP on Sierras, 0.9% financing on Buicks, plus $3,000 off MSRP as well. Peruzzi Buick GMC, located Business Route 1 in Fairless Hills, where our business is you. Well, it's been so long since we've been here, Nick. I'm used to talking about how darkness will fall as the game goes on, but now we're past daylight savings time, right? And we're well past twilight once this game gets underway. We're in the darkness the whole way through.
Yes, we are, partner, indeed.
Here's a handoff with Graham, and on 1st and 10, he's got the first down, a pickup of 11 for Makai Graham. And right now, Graham's doing exactly what they need him to do. He's got over 1,600 yards on the ground this season, right? Not necessarily a huge, big play threat. Of course, he'll get going into open space if you let him. But he gets a lot of his yardage just because of the amount they feed him typically. And so it's those kind of runs right there, those drive starters, 10, 11 yards, put the defense back on their heels. Here's 1st and 10, Wildcats from their own 43. They'll feed the beast, and Graham makes a jump stop, and that ends up gaining him a yard. He was able to finesse his way around Carson Schneider in the backfield that time, and Owen Schwartz met him at the 44. Schneider's done a nice job so far coming up from the linebacker spot. You can tell that he watched his film. He knows when this OJR offense is going to turn and give to Graham. He's been able to shoot his gaps quite nicely.
It's up to Neshaminy's D-line now to really get home and create more pressure on Flynn when he's throwing it. D-line's done a nice job on the running plays.
2nd and 9, they go back to that toss. Graham now wants to throw, looking for somebody open, and nobody comes open. And Owen Schwartz drops him for a sack. Oh, they wanted to get a little tricky here in the second, and Owen Schwartz said, not this time. His 2nd sack of the postseason, and now it's 3rd and forever for OJR.
That's a big sack there. Schneider read that play, got to the edge, got around, and took down Graham fast before that play was going to develop into trouble.
And Neshaminy is going to use their 2nd timeout here before a 3rd down and 19. And that's a big play because this is a huge drive for OJR as well. Remember, Neshaminy, they won the toss. They elected to receive, so it's going to be the Wildcats up after the halftime break. And if you're the Wildcats right now, you came into this drive thinking, let's go down and score, go up by 14 points, and then get the ball back again. But now Neshaminy with a prime opportunity to get off the field, and they could be thinking tie game after all is said and done.
Well, this is a big defensive 3rd down, too, for them. You can get Wildcats off the field here, bring your offense back on Neshaminy. Plenty of time.
3:13 to go till the break. This is 3rd down and 19. Neshaminy going to play man coverage across the board. Flynn firing deep down the sideline. Nothing doing. Great coverage by Mike Sassano that time, using the sideline to his advantage. There is a flag on the play, however, so hold everything.
I was just about to say, that's the one thing you got to look for.
This is where Neshaminy just continue to get burned, although they're going to pick up this marker. And probably much to the relief of everybody here on the Neshaminy sideline. 4th and 19, the Skins get their first stop of the night. And now they get the football back all of a sudden with a chance to tie this game. And you want to talk about a back and forth first half. That's what we've got right here in the District 1 6A quarterfinals. That punt was nearly blocked, and it's a booming kick. Wow, Nick Sassano has to go all the way back to his own 15 to field, and now he's got a lot of running room as a result. Sassano across the 40, and so much for that big-time kick, it only nets about 25, 30 yards. And the Sassano brothers are having themselves a night here on special teams.
Little things like that, helping out your offense, short fields, as Neshaminy can set up shop here. Just a little bit more than half the field to work with. One timeout in your back pocket, 2:50 to go.
Well, over half of the drives in this first half have resulted in touchdowns, and Neshaminy looking to continue that trend. This drive begins from the 47 with a quick throw. It's Nick Sassano in the receiving game, and a good-looking truck that time from Sassano to the 45, and that riles up the fans in front of us. It's a gain of 9. Nick Sassano, not the biggest wide receiver. He was playing playing pretty big right there. Second and just a yard. Now it's Carter Klee time, and Klee's got more running room and another first down. Across the 30 to the 29. What a first half it's been for Klee. He's got just 5 carries, but he's right up near triple digits in yards. Here's play number 3. This is where the magic has happened. From the 30. Eckert over the middle. Nick Sassano can't bring it down. Oh man, nearly went 3 for 3 in terms of three-play drives. So Nick Sassano had it, and the throw may be just a little too much hot sauce on it right there.
Well, that would have been an impressive, interesting stat. 3 touchdowns, 3 drives. And Eckert had some time, good protection from his O-line, stepped up into that one, just a little too much to Sassano there.
So now second and 10. This time Eckert's going to take it himself, and he's got more space, and another first down inside the red zone. Michael Eckert, his longest run of the night, goes for 17 yards.
Slowly bringing this Neshaminy home crowd back into this game with this drive. They're knocking on the door now.
They say it'll start from the 14 now this series. First and 10, handoff, it's Klee, and he gets wrapped up and ridden down by a pair of Wildcats. Brecken PIAA and Kyle Miller, a sophomore and a senior, combining on that tackle. Short gain, pickup of 2, and now second down and 8. Under 100 seconds to play till the break. Neshaminy looking to even the score back up. They've led by 7, they've trailed by 14. Eckert's back, they want the screen and they've got it. It's Klee, he's got blockers and he doesn't even need them. He could have crawled into the end zone. And it's a 1-point game. Carter Klee, his second touchdown of the night. And with 1:24 to go till the break, Neshaminy is a PAT away from tying the score back up. I guess technically because it's high school and not the NFL, he couldn't have crawled in. If he put his knee down, it would have been stopped. But I think everybody understood what I was trying to say. I was trying to say that Carter Klee was very wide open.
And he made that look easy. 12-yard score for Klee. And we're knotted up.
21 all with 1:24 to go until the break. And catch your breath, this first half's had it all.
That'll be Carter Klee's 5th receiving touchdown of the season. And just like that, Jordan, once again, Neshaminy down 14, this time this week at home. You come right back into this game as they tie it up against the Wildcats.
It's almost like they go down 2 scores and they're like, you know what, whatever, this is right where we want them. Yeah, so much for that defensive battle we all thought, right?
Yeah.
These two teams' offenses bound and determined to get their squads to the semifinals. For Neshaminy, it would be the first time since 2015. For OJR, it would be the first time in the Max Preps era, which goes back to 2004. Another squib kick. It's worked like a charm so far. This one's fielded cleanly at the 30. And a good carry by Jonathan Miller out near the 40-yard line. And so now for OJR, they got punched in the mouth to start this game, and now they've taken another right hook. Game tied at 21, but their thoughts are go down and score and have a chance to work 2 possessions for 1, right, and get the ball right back at the start of the 3rd quarter.
And remember, too, they have a good kicker, too. They don't necessarily need 6 here. Just get into field goal range, use your timeouts, field position. You can add points before the break.
1st and 10 from the 39. It's a quick throw. It's low, and it hits the turf before it could find the outstretched arms of Matt Gregory. Got to believe this drive is going to be through the air for the most part, although when you've got Makai Graham as your running back, you never quite know. But I'd be very surprised if they didn't go to Graham a lot more in the second half than they have here in the first. I mean, heck, he got 37 carries last week. He ran about 60% of their plays in their win against Downingtown West. 2nd and 10. Flynn to the air. If he could find somebody open, now he's just going to take off. And he rumbles out of bounds around the 45. And so Chris Flynn turns something out of nothing. And it sets up 3rd down. And now the clock frozen at a minute 7. And I won't tell you how many seconds that is. Even though I'm sure there are probably a lot of Neshaminy and OJR students in the crowd right now that would really, really like me to.
Yeah, I'm not going to take your bait on that one, buddy, but I read your mind.
3rd and 6. Empty set for the first time all night for the Wildcats. Flynn running out of time. He's going to take off. No, he's not. He's going to fire, and it's caught. We've got a flag down. Pass caught that time by Stahl. And I think the flag is going to be because he was past the line of scrimmage. The flag came out right as the ball was released. I thought Flynn had crossed the line and was a runner, and it would be an illegal forward pass. That's what we've got. So he did take off, and then he threw illegally.
Yeah, when you're getting pressured, too, by the Neshaminy D-line, I mean, you don't blame it. You don't know what to do. You don't try to want to extend the play. And Flynn just ran out of room that time and trying to do too much.
Owen J Roberts.
And they'll actually call illegal touching. It's a loss of 5. It's showing 3rd and 11, but I believe it should be lost of down. And now the down marker changes, so it's 4th and 11, and you're going to get the punting unit. And now the Neshaminy crowd is realizing it as they're going to get the football back now with probably right around 50 seconds to go, which is just about all the time they've needed on some of these touchdown drives.
Yeah. If they can get another big return by Sassano to set them up with good field position, that'll be huge.
It's another good punt, and this time it's angled away from Sassano. Not going to give him an opportunity to return. This drive for Neshaminy will start from the 30. They're 70 yards away from pay dirt with 53 seconds to go until the break. And no, you're not watching a replay of last week, but yes, Neshaminy trailed by 14 in the 2nd quarter, and now they've got a chance to take the lead before the break.
21-point 2nd quarter against CB West last week. Still 50 seconds to do it. If they play their cards right, 1 timeout, could have a shot.
And now for OJR, they've got to lock down these Neshaminy receivers a little better here, as Neshaminy's been open all night long. 1st and 10. Eckert's going to take a shot. He's got a man. It's Bobby Lagler, but he can't get it. Lagler, hands on his head. He knows he should have brought that one down. He got to flip fields from one 30-yard line to the other. Instead, it's 2nd down and 10.
Great throw by Eckert. Lagler had him. Perfect throw. Lagler just a bad drop there in a big spot.
So now on 2nd and 10, Eckert will take off. He skirts his way through the offensive line and got tackled at the last second. Jeremy Daubert there to bring him down. And Daubert had a pair of those 6 total interceptions that the OJR defense forced in the first round against Neshaminy last season. Here's 3rd and 5. We've got a whistle, we've got a flag, and I think we've got an illegal shift. No, they're going to call offside, we're being told. Although Neshaminy's offense is backing up. And they're going to back them up, so they'll call the false start.
Yeah, with 24 seconds, you might be able to get 2 more plays here.
Clock is running, and now Neshaminy realizing it. Now the officials in discussion either for who the penalty was against or if the clock should have been going there, I guess. It's always a big guessing game sometimes. A lot of standing around. Right now the clock here is at 21.5 seconds for 3rd and 10. And now the clock will run. Nick Felix has a timeout. He's not going to use it here. This could be the final play of the opening half. Eckert steps up and just kind of throws it away. That might have slipped out of his hands. It was in the direction of Brock Williams. And now with just 9 seconds to go till halftime, Michael Eckert's going to be forced to punt. And if you're Eckert, you got to be able to send it away, right? He's the backup punter. This is where you kind of miss Tristan Rivera, because if you're Neshaminy, you don't want any funny business going down right here on this punt at the end of the half. And if you're OJR, it looks like they're going to sell out to try to block this. If they execute this well enough, the Wildcats would probably be left with just 1 play and would most likely take a kneel down. And we've got more whistles as this first half crawls to a close. And they'll call a delay of game against Neshaminy.
Delay of game against Neshaminy.
Well, it's been a pretty electrifying first half and kind of anticlimactic end to it. Of course, unless OJR makes a play here on special teams. Eckert just got it away. And it'll go out of bounds, kind of shanked it. And now with just 3 seconds on the clock, the Wildcats could take a shot at the end zone here. That went out of bounds inside the 40. And the way this first half has gone, if I'm Neshaminy, probably not too thrilled about giving the Wildcats a chance to chuck it to the end zone here.
Punt goes out of bounds at the 35-yard line.
They say it went out of bounds at the 35, and Chris Flynn, 35 yards away from that blue paint down there, certainly well within his range. Be a 52-yard field goal try from here. That's out of the range of Ryan Tuhey. Neshaminy's going to burn their final timeout. And I'll let you know there's great food, fine spirits, and good times that are always on the menu at the Irish Rover Station House in Langhorne, opposite the SEPTA train station. The Irish Rover is your home for all Philly sports and happy hour every Monday through Friday from 4 to 7 p.m. Irish Rover Station House located at 1033 South Bellevue Avenue in Langhorne, opposite the SEPTA train station. And don't forget, if you miss any of today's action, you can read all about it in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian. For your complete local and national news 7 days a week, it's the Trentonian, or online at Trentonian.com. The only newspaper serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County 7 days a week. It's the Trentonian. Chris Flynn in this first half, a pair of passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown on a quarterback sneak. Michael Eckert's got 2 touchdowns through the air of his own. Carter Cleese got 2 total, 1 on the ground, 1 through the air. And a shot at a Hail Mary on the final play of this very fun first half. Flynn being chased. We've got a flag, and he's sacked. If it stands, it's Owen Schwartz's second of the half. And we'll see what the penalty is. And it's going to go against OJR. It gets declined. And that is how this first half kind of unceremoniously comes to an end. Don't be mistaken, that was a very interesting first 24 minutes of this one, and we're even at 21 after half number 1. Do not go anywhere. When we come back, we'll have our performance of the Owen J Roberts Marching Band, as well as our halftime show. Myself and Nick Gallagher will break down everything we just saw. Locked at 21, 24 minutes down, 24 to go here in the PIAA District 1 Class 6A quarterfinals on WBCB.
Parents, are you looking for an athletic performance coach for your child with over 25 years of experience? Coaches, are you looking for a strength and conditioning coach that has coached youth to professional teams to record success? Your only choice is the Kalinowski Performance Academy. The Kalinowski Performance Academy is the area leader in personal, group, team academy prep, and return to play training. The Kalinowski Performance Academy believes that everyone should have an opportunity to be their best. Go to trainlikecal.com to be Cal's next success story. That's trainlikecal.com, spelled K-A-L.
Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat-screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs.
A proud supporter of Neshaminy Skins High School football on WBCB Sports is the N Club. Don't forget to visit the snack stand at the game tonight for some yummy treats and show your Neshaminy pride. Check out the Pride Wear tonight for all of your merchandise. And a special thank you to our sponsors: Chick-fil-A Neshaminy, Automotive Training Center, Bailey's Bar and Grill, Code 3 Records Artist Services, Fireside Inn, First National Bank of Newtown, Frank Ferry, JJKL Construction LLC, Patient First, Sandy's Beef and Ale, and Travel Services by Tiffany.
This is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. Every champion needs a good game plan. BCWSA and I want to make sure you have a game plan when it comes to conserving our most precious resource, water. Whether you're washing dishes, brushing your teeth, or watering your garden, there are ways you can save water and save money. Visit bcwsa.net for tips on conserving water. BCWSA, proven.
There really is nothing like a home team advantage. That's why Team Toyota makes a great choice for your next vehicle purchase or service. With our MVP pricing guarantee, teammate rewards program, and streamlined customer experience, our award-winning operation ensures that you can trust our process. A home team advantage is nothing without the community. Our employees are part of our family, part of your town, and we're all part of the team. We're always here for you at one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, and Glen Mills.
Rob's Automotive and Collision Center in Lower Bucks County is a full-service repair center with competitive prices, top-of-the-line products, and the finest auto body and mechanical repair technicians anywhere. Rob's makes repairing your car easy. Same-day service guaranteed. Whether it's an oil change, state inspection, or a mechanical issue, Rob's will have you in and out and on your way. 2700 Veterans Highway in Bristol, 215-826-9200 for 24-hour emergency towing. Call 215-826-0250.
Don't let joint pain bring you down. See how you can get relief at a free joint pain seminar at St. Mary Orthopedics. Joint care experts will inform and answer questions about diagnosing, managing, and treating joint problems and knowing when it's time for a joint replacement. Ready to get back to life? Get to the next free joint pain seminar. Details at stmaryhealthcare.org/joint seminar. It's your health. Expect more.
Kent's Tree Service, right here in Lower Bucks County, 23 years of expert tree service, emergencies, 24/7 service, is your trusted professional for any tree service needs that you have. Kent's Tree Service, many years of experience successfully providing tree services here in Lower Bucks County and even parts of Montgomery County. Their whole team provides the utmost care when working on your property and are experts you can trust for any tree removal, tree trimming, lot clearing, and so much more. Bonded and insured, you can be assured of professional results from their highly experienced service professionals. Kent's Tree Service, quality tree service, right here in Lower Bucks County. Call them today at 215-547-9744. That's 215-547-9744. Kent's Quality Tree Service. 23 years of expert tree service.
Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365. Come home to traditional Italian cuisine. The Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township. 1490 WBCB, Levittown and Trenton, and video stream live at WBCBsports.com. Your home for the best local sports in Bucks and Mercer counties.
This high-energy tribute to legendary jazz standards includes House of the Rising Sun, Birdland, Fever, and the electrifying Hey Pachuco. Our show is brought to life by the following professionals: Assistant Band Director and Show Designer Jeff Oxenford, Class Instructor and Marching Coordinator A.B. Hayes, Woodwind Instructor Rachel Skibishevsky, Percussion Instructors Dan Hervine, Ethan Farka, Noah Euler, Isaac Strader, and Sean Steyer, Color Guard Instructors Samantha Riley, Catherine Thorpe, and Elizabeth Almonte. The Wildcat Marching Band is under the direction of Mr. Ben Hayes and is led on the field by drum majors Sidney Bowler, Leah Pucciati, and Melanie Sauer. The band would like to Wildcats community and all of our OJR grandparents for their unwavering support. The audience is ready. Drum majors, Sydney, Aaliyah, and Melanie. Is the band ready? Here they are, the pride of OJR, the 2025 Owen J Roberts Senior High School Wildcat Marching Band.
St. Mary has a new way to help. Knee and hip replacements with a smarter process for faster recovery, earning prestigious awards for quality and value. A rapid recovery program has you walking just hours after surgery, and breakthrough advances such as custom-fit joints position you for a longer pain-free life. 215-710-5888. St. Mary Orthopedics. It's your health. Expect more.
Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat-screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs.
A proud supporter of Neshaminy Skins High School football on WBCB Sports is the N Club. Don't forget to visit the snack stand at the game tonight for some yummy treats and show your Neshaminy pride. Check out the Pride Wear tonight for all of your merchandise. And a special thank you to our sponsors: Chick-fil-A Neshaminy, Automotive Training Center, Bailey's Bar and Grill, Code 3 Records Artist Services, Fireside Inn, First National Bank of Newtown, Frank Ferry, JJKL Construction LLC, Patient First, Sandy's Beef and Ale, and Travel Services by Tiffany.
There really is nothing like a home team advantage. That's why Team Toyota makes a great choice for your next vehicle purchase or service. With our MVP pricing guarantee, teammate rewards program, and streamlined customer experience, our award-winning operation ensures that you can trust our process. A home team advantage is nothing without the community. Our employees are part of our family, part of your town, and we're all part of the team. We're always here for you at one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, and Glen Mills.
Rob's Automotive and Collision Center in Lower Bucks County is a full-service repair center with competitive prices, top-of-the-line products, and the finest auto body and mechanical repair technicians anywhere. Rob's makes repairing your car easy. Same-day service guaranteed. Whether it's an oil change, state inspection, or a mechanical issue, Rob's will have you in and out and on your way. 2700 Veterans Highway in Bristol, 215-826-9200 for 24-hour emergency towing. Call 215-826-0250.
Don't let joint pain bring you down. See how you can get relief at a free joint pain seminar at St. Mary Orthopedics. Joint care experts will inform and answer questions about diagnosing, managing, and treating joint problems and knowing when it's time for a joint replacement. Ready to get back to life? Get to the next free joint pain seminar. Details at stmaryhealthcare.org/joint seminar. It's your health. Expect more.
Kent's Tree Service, right here in Lower Bucks County. 23 years of expert tree service, emergencies 24/7 service, is your trusted professional for any tree service needs that you have. Kent's Tree Service, many years of experience successfully providing tree services here in Lower Bucks County and even parts of Montgomery County. Their whole team provides the utmost care when working on your property and are experts you can trust for any tree removal, tree trimming, lot clearing, and so much more. Bonded and insured, you can be assured of professional results from their highly experienced service professionals. Kent's Tree Service, quality tree service, right here in Lower Bucks County. Call them today at 215-547-9744. That's 215-547-9744. Kent's Quality Tree Service. 23 years of expert tree service.
Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365. Come home to traditional Italian cuisine. The Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township.
Back here from Heartbreak Ridge, it's halftime. We're even at 21. The 11 seed Neshaminy Skins, the 14 seed Owen J Roberts battling it out for a trip to the District 1 6A semifinals. Taking a look at some out-of-town scores. The other quarterfinal matchups, number 1 Penridge against number 8 Downingtown East. Rams on top 21-3 in the third quarter. Winner of this game gets the winner of the 2-7 matchup. That's North Penn taking on Souderton. The Knights on top 24-14 in that game early in the third quarter. And then at halftime in the 4-5 matchup between Coatesville and Council Rock South. Coatesville on top of that one, 7-0 at the break. That scoring summary is probably a lot easier than this one, Nick. 21-21 after the first 24 minutes. I'll give you the floor here to break down how we got to this point.
Yes, if you've joined us late tonight, it was a quick Neshaminy touchdown, 59 seconds to get us going tonight. A 42-yard touchdown scamper from Carter Klee, his 8th of the season. And then the Wildcats answered with a 1-yard touchdown of their own as they went right down the field as Chris Flynn snuck it in from the 1-yard line with 4:57 to go in the first quarter. They struck back quickly with a 75-yard touchdown strike from Chris Flynn to Matt Gregory, his 6th receiving touchdown of the season, as the Wildcats went up 14-7 late in the first quarter. Into the second quarter now, Matt Gregory back-to-back touchdowns for the Wildcats. It was a 21-yard touchdown reception, his 7th of the season, to give the Wildcats a 21-7 lead. And then Neshaminy answered right back with 2 touchdowns of their own. It was a 20-yard touchdown reception by Mike Sassano, his 9th of the year, with 4:49 to go into the second quarter. And then Carter Klee, his 12-yard touchdown reception, his 5th of the year, with 1:24 to go. And we're not up at 21 apiece as we start the second half, Jordan.
Second half about set to get underway, and if it's anything like the first half, we are in for a fun, exciting, and for the fans in our audience, nail-biting and sweaty palm finish to this one. Neshaminy looking to advance to the district semifinals for the first time since 2015, looking to advance to the District 1 6A semifinals for the first time in program history. As for the Owen J Roberts Wildcats, they're looking to get to a district semifinal for the first time in the Max Preps era, which goes all the way back to 2004. Neshaminy is trailed by 14 in each of these first 2 playoff games. And for them, they're hoping the result tonight is reminiscent of the one from last week against Central Bucks West. As for this Owen J Roberts squad, they were even at halftime last week, and they're hoping that they have a repeat second half performance, which saw them put up just 3 points and get the 10-7 win. And off we go here in half number 2. This one's fielded at 25 by Jonathan Miller, who finds a bit of a seam and is out across the 35-yard line. And that's where this Owen J Roberts, typically run-heavy, but today pass-heavy offense, will begin half number 2.
And the squib kick has worked for Neshaminy so far, but I want to see them kind of pin the Wildcats back down into their own territory, kind of work the full length of the field. They've had pretty manageable and favorable field position in that first half, starting anywhere between the 25 and maybe the 35-yard line tonight.
OJR scored on their first 3 drives and were stonewalled on their final 2 of the first half. This one begins from their own 36. Man goes in motion, that's Lucas Schrum. The give goes to Makai Graham. Graham bounces to the outside with room. Big play on the first play of this third quarter. And we thought we might see a little bit more Makai Graham here out of the break. And if that's a sign of things to come for Graham, OJR will be in good position.
Yeah, they've really kept him in check in that first half. He really hasn't broken anything big and substantial. It's really been a pass-heavy offense in the first half. And if Graham can get rolling, Neshaminy is going to be in trouble here in the second half.
I believe that's his longest run of the night, 19 yards into Nesh territory on the 45. Right back to Graham they go. He hits the hole with a burst and gets dragged down from behind. You saw him kind of pitter-pat step right there before he chose which gap he wanted to go through. He's got a gain of 6 to the 39. Carson Schneider, the team leader in tackles on this Neshaminy squad. He came into the game with 94. He's going to get over 100 tonight and may already be there. On 2nd and 4, it's another handoff to Makai Graham, and he gets stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Mark Yilkovic, Milo Makes, Owen Schwartz. Those are some big boys in there, and it's pretty tough to run through that trio, and it sets up 3rd and 3.
I wouldn't be surprised if Chris Flynn and his offense try to do something through the air on this 3rd and 3.
This is classic Owen J Roberts. They'll bring these series into 3rd downs very often. A team that knows how to convert in these scenarios. Neshaminy looking for their 3rd consecutive stop. Flynn, quick pass. It's out of the reach of Matt Gregory. Had him wide open with about 5 yards of off coverage from Mike Sassano, but Flynn couldn't make the connection, and now 4th and 3 and decision time for Rich Kolka. And it looks like he's going to make the aggressive decision and go for it. A punt could have pinned Neshaminy perhaps inside their own 15 or even the 10. Milo Makes will come out of this game. Insert Corey Kenoy Webb. For 4th and 3. Flynn, pocket collapsing, running out of time. Owen Schwartz is there again. Sack number 3 for number 52. And what a postseason it's been for Owen Schwartz, wreaking havoc on 4th down once again.
That's huge right out of the gate for this Neshaminy D-line. They've been quiet tonight waiting for a big stop, and they finally get one to open up the 2nd half.
With that sack, Owen Schwartz has reached double digits. He's up to 10 for the season. Ranks just behind Corey Kenoy Webb, who has 11. Trying to close in on that top spot. 1st and 10 Skins from the 45. Eckert up the middle, nothing doing. Maybe a yard or 2 that time for Michael Eckert. Pretty interesting, Nick, because at the end of the regular season, as Neshaminy was gallivanting through Central Bucks, they kind of went away from the ground game with Eckert. And then ever since the Pennsbury game, into last week in the 1st round against CB West, and now into tonight, Eckert's legs have become just as big of a factor as they were in September.
I think they've really found him through the running game, and he's been successful at it. And it's just added another weapon to this offense for the Skins.
On 2nd and 9, Eckert to the air. It's another screen. This time it's Brock Williams running out of room. Wow, how did he get a positive gain on that? He was surrounded by about half the Wildcat defense and somehow pushed them back into their own territory, and now it'll set up 3rd and 4 from the 49. Typically on a screen, you're not taught to run away from all your blockers, but it seemed to work out pretty well for Brock Williams there.
Yeah, really finding a seam and just following his blockers, smart, being patient.
On 3rd and 4, Eckert, well protected, over the middle, Mike Sassano in stride. Sassano, can he find the pylon? Yes, sir! Touchdown number 2 for Sassano. And the Skins have taken the lead back. It's 27-21. All Mike Sassano had to do right there was run to the spot that Eckert led him to. The chemistry between those two guys the last few weeks has just been off the charts. And for Sassano, it's his 5th touchdown in the last 3 games.
And 2 milestones, Sassano, his 10th receiving touchdown, and the 30th touchdown for senior quarterback Michael Eckert on the year.
We're going to false start here against Neshaminy. So 30 passing touchdowns for Eckert. Also 9 on the ground. So that's 39 total touchdowns to just 3 interceptions. If you include fumbles, it's 39 touchdowns and 7 turnovers. Still one heck of a ratio for the senior quarterback Michael Eckert. And now we've got more whistles.
This PAT will come from 25 yards out. Stephen Busick has already watched his counterpart Ryan Tuhey drill one from 25. And now we've got another whistle, and this one might have to come from 30. Nope, they call it offsides, and we're right back where we started. I think we're playing hopscotch out there. The kick went through. I think Neshaminy's wondering if they could just decline it, but I guess not. Carson Schneider wants them to just decline it.
Felix
yeah, he's now asking the official if it went through or not. And it appears that he was told they have to retry.
So half distance to the goal now on this PAT try.
Busick, he drills it. After all of that, they get the 1 point that they wanted. 28-21. Getting a little deja vu from last week, Nick.
Yeah, we are. 28-21 now. Skins go up. Well, we had a final score of that last week. Let's see how this one ends up. It's going to be a thrilling game from there on out.
Yeah, we had the 28-21 final, but also a 14-point deficit in which Neshaminy responded. In that game, they responded with 28 unanswered points before Central Bucks West went down and scored a touchdown. Right now, the number is at 21. And how about the turnaround this defense has seen in this game? Gave up touchdowns on the first 3 drives. We've seen that at points this season, Nick, where the defense will give up some early scores, but then lock it in the rest of the game. You saw it just last week. They gave up touchdowns on the first 2 drives against Central Bucks West. Didn't allow anything until midway through the 4th quarter after that.
Yeah, they just really made adjustments well. They got comfortable defensively. They kind of knew what CB West was going to do, and they just read it out really well. This week you're playing at home. You got to be comfortable. And again, as we mentioned all night, a spot you haven't been to too many times here in 2025.
Another squib kick. Ooh, that hit one of the players on the front line. And fortunately for the Wildcats, they're able to fall back on top of it at the 35. That hit off the foot of Tobias Larson. And then it was recovered and fallen on by Darius Neely.
On the return, the Wildcats will start their drive up their own.
Well, you know the Wildcats aren't afraid of this little 7-point deficit they find themselves in. The way they responded after Neshaminy scored on their first drive of the first half. We'll see if it's still a heavy dose of Makai Graham like we saw on the last drive. First play is a give to Graham, and he's got nowhere to go but backwards. Driven back by Luke Howell. It's another tackle for loss, and that's something that the Neshaminy defense wasn't doing a whole lot, and that's getting these high-powered running backs down behind the line of scrimmage. We don't have the official numbers, but that's either the 3rd or 4th TFL of the game for this Neshaminy defense, and they've all been against Makai Graham. On 2nd and 12, Flynn wants to throw. Scans, going deep, into double coverage, nothing doing. He wanted to get it to Matt Gregory, but the Sassano brothers were having none of that.
Yeah, I'm not surprised to see some double coverage that time by the Neshaminy secondary. You got to adjust what Gregory was able to do through the air in that first half. You want to bracket him off as many times as you can. If guys are going to beat you, you might be fine with Adam Stahl beating you through the air instead of Gregory.
It is interesting the way they run their passing game, where it's pretty much Matt Gregory and Adam Stahl the whole way through. They've got guys like Lucas Schrum, Logan Palaia, Cole Grossi all on this offense who barely get any touches in the receiving game. It's really just those 2 outside guys. Here's 3rd and 12. They're going to set up the screen. And there's Grossi, and maybe that's why he doesn't get all the touches. He got popped behind the line of scrimmage for another TFL. And this Neshaminy defense is coming.
Ilkovic with the tackle there. Read that, got off his block, was able to make the loss, the tackle for loss. And once again, back-to-back drive, Neshaminy's defense gets off the field for the first time tonight.
Remember, they set up that same wide receiver screen on their first passing play with Gregory, and it went for a big gain. Ever since then, Neshaminy has shut the screen down. They force another punt. Wow, is this a booming kick? Muffed by Nick Sassano, and he has to fall on top of it. And Owen J Roberts almost had a chance to see some deja vu right there, as their lone touchdown drive last week was extended because of a muffed punt. Fortunately for Nick Sassano, he jumped on top of the pigskin, and now Neshaminy with a chance to go up by 2 scores and completely flip this thing.
And we got a score, out-of-town score update. North Penn in control, up 30-14 now, as they are inching closer to moving on to next week's semifinals.
Well, the winner of this game will play the winner of that one, either at North Penn or at Souderton. It's certainly looking like a trip to Lansdale right now for one of these two teams. Here's Klee across the 30, and Carter Klee continues his epic night with a pickup of 6.
Now, if you're Neshaminy, you're up 7, about almost halfway to go here in this third quarter. You could sustain this drive, drag it out a couple minutes, maybe even through the rest of the third quarter, and get some sort of points off this. You're sitting pretty start to fourth.
Second and 4 play action. It's Williams, and he's got a lot of room to roam. And Williams has a first down out to the 43, maybe the 42. We'll see where they officially mark it. Either way, move the chains in favor of Neshaminy. They'll mark him down right at the 43. Neshaminy's wide receivers are eating up this secondary of OJR right now. Another quick throw, however, it gets whistled dead because of a false start. Neshaminy has certainly shown improvement in the penalties so far in this game, and a lot of them are these free snap, which are annoying, but they're 5-yard penalties. Of course, last week we were seeing a lot of the extracurriculars, personal fouls, 15-yard penalties, and in big spots in the game, too. Neshaminy has kind of reeled that in so far.
That was going to be crucial for them coming into tonight, how they can control that.
They're behind the sticks on 1st and 15. Eckert looking to get it all back and then some. Bobby Lagler drops it. Oh, he had an opportunity at redemption. And nobody feels worse in this stadium right now than number 12 in red. Lagler's going to jog back. And we've got a flag. It's holding against the defense. And so that'll get the penalty yardage back. So Bobby Lagler now 2 drops on the deep balls. The first one was, you could make an argument it was a bit underthrown. That one was right in the breadbasket, though.
Yeah, and Lagler with some great bursts of speed to catch up with that one. Looks initially like it was going to be overthrown from Eckert. He's able to catch up with it. Lagler was probably frustrated with himself as he was earlier in that, or late in that first half. He had some early season struggles too, Jordan, where he was dropping a couple passes here and there, and he kind of rejuvenated his game in the middle of the season, picked things up. And he's been utilized here and there in the tail end of this season for the Skins. It's been a tough break for him lately tonight.
It's a 10-yard penalty. So 1st and 5 now for Neshaminy. Got a feeling Bobby Lagler's night isn't going to be done. He's going to make a play before this one's all said and done. Eckert has pressure, just spikes it into the ground. Carter Klee was in the area. And a flag comes out. Neshaminy's sideline is celebrating. They think it's for roughing the passer. Klee was in the area, so I don't think they can call it grounding. And the officials are in discussion. They wanted the screen with Klee. And Eckert basically just threw it down at his own feet. And yep, roughing the passer. Oh, no, intentional grounding. I got to tell you, I'm a little surprised about that one, especially on a screenplay. I guess you could make the argument that Eckert wasn't making an attempt to get it to Klee.
Maybe. I mean, it was just like a forward throw spike motion.
That's a loss of down as well, so it'll be 2nd down and 20. And so far this entire series has been moved back and forth because of flags. 6:11 to go, 3rd quarter. Neshaminy looking to build on this 7-point lead. Eckert will fake the throw and take off. Keeps those legs churning to the 40. And so we get some of the penalty yardage back. It's still going to be 3rd and long. But it's now 3rd down in a spot where you are thinking about picking up the first, whereas if you were back in 3rd and 20, it's kind of just set up the punter in more favorable position. Which, of course, that punter tonight is Michael Eckert anyways, with the injury to Tristan Rivera. This is 3rd and 13. Let's see if Neshaminy's receivers can take advantage of the coverage again. OJR sends pressure. Eckert delivers it over the middle, and it's knocked away. And the frustrating night for Bobby Lagler continues. That time it was fantastic coverage from Mekhi Graham, high pointing that football and knocking it out of Lagler's hands at the last second.
Yeah, credit to Graham there in coverage. That's not much Lagler could do. It was a tough play in the first place. He made a great leap to try to go grab that and bring it down.
Well, you know Bobby Lagler he was looking for redemption after the first drop, really wanted it there after the second. That one, a pass breakup, not a drop, but you know he wanted to make that play. Well, in his first game as a punter, Michael Eckert not doing a bad job, although this one takes a Wildcat bounce and checks up around the 42 where it's down by Carson Schneider. And now it's another opportunity for Chris Flynn and company to re-even this score. We've already seen two ties in this game, and the magic number tonight has been 3. 2 drives of 3 plays for touchdowns for Neshaminy. Owen Schwartz, he's got 3 sacks in this one. OJR's offense has 3 touchdowns right now. 3s are all over the place in this quarterfinal game. Out of the eye, it's a give, and it's Graham, and he just runs right into the teeth of that Neshaminy defensive line with Marko Kovic right there. Tell you what, he looked like he had an opportunity that if he bounced that to the right, there was a big opening on that side. Didn't recognize it, and he gets 2 yards instead.
There was a gain of 2 on the play. Brings up 2nd and 8.
Well, OJR might be the biggest offensive line that Neshaminy has faced all season. Neshaminy's defensive line, ever since the first quarter, they've done a nice job, and they're going to get helped out because of some movement. Looks like they're going to get the right tackle, Kyle Miller, that time.
Oh, D right here, let's go! Take advantage of it.
Well, Kyle Miller, he's a senior on what's a relatively young OJR offensive line. They do have a freshman starting, number 76, Dominic Keck. This is 2nd down and 15 for the Wildcats. Here's Flynn with a clean pocket and another low throw. Chris Flynn has suffered a case of the yips ever since the first 3 drives. He was looking for Matt Gregory again that time. For as accurate as Flynn was through the first quarter and then some in this one, ever since, it's been either just leading his receivers too far to the outside or right there, another underthrown ball. Neshaminy's defense looking for another stop. They've strung them together. Here's 3rd and long. Here's Flynn to the outside. It's caught, but it's short. That's Adam Stahl with the reception, and it sets up 4th and manageable. And trailing by 7 with the explosiveness that Neshaminy's offense has displayed, this to me is go for it territory.
Yeah, you have to. You're down late in this 3rd quarter here. And the question, though, is how do you attack this? Do you try to keep it on the ground on a 4th and 4, which Neshaminy has been all over in this third quarter? Try to do something through the air, over the middle, attack the linebackers.
You can make an argument this is the biggest play of the night so far. Flynn, pressure in his face, just gets it away. It's Makai Graham, makes a man miss, picks up the first down and more. He's physical, he's shifty, and he continues the drive. The junior Makai Graham is the safety valve.
Makai Graham with the
And it looked like he was getting into it with head coach Nick Felix a little bit there after the
A little
play.
fiery. And that's probably just a motivation for Graham, who's been there here and then throughout the night, showing us some flashes as he's trying to get himself going.
That was the first catch for Graham of the night. Here's 1st and 10 now from the 37. It's going to become either 1st and 15 or 1st and 5, and it will be the latter of the two, or the former of the two. 1st and 15. False start called against OJR. It'll back them up to the 42.
Penalty against Owen J Roberts. 1st down and 15.
So clock frozen now, 3:13 to go, third quarter. If you're OJR, you're thinking nothing but 7 right here. You don't want to keep giving the ball back to Neshaminy with a chance to go up 2 scores. Flynn has all day, lets it rip, and it's too high this time. Looking for Adam Stahl. The other thing, Nick, in this game, with a lot of these throws have been outside the numbers, outside the hash marks. The few times they've gone in between the numbers is when the Wildcats have had success. They, of course, had the passing touchdown, the 75-yarder to Matt Gregory, in which he bounced off a tackle earlier in this one. They've had more success when they've gone over the middle. That's credit to these Neshaminy linebackers, guys like Dan McGarity, Rocco Gregory, Luke Howe, that have done a nice job clogging up the center of the field. 2nd and 15, it's a handoff, it's Graham. He fumbles the football, and Neshaminy's got it. Right as we were talking about the linebackers, Luke Howe makes the play, recovers the fumble, and the Skins will take over.
Our first offensive turnover of the game, minus the turnover on downs, of course, but a big fumble by the Wildcat offense and Makai Graham with 3 minutes to go. They cough it up and give it right back to this Neshaminy offense. Just after Jordan, they were getting things going and moving.
Well, in the postseason, that's where you look for your stars to show up, and Makai Graham certainly has in this game, but a crucial mistake right there gives the ball back to Michael Eckert, who's played nearly mistake-free football in this one. This drive starts with a drive starter in Nick Sassano. It's going to do a whole lot more than that. Sassano takes off, and he's well into OJR territory. Those wide receiver screens are only supposed to go for 5 or 6 yards. And that one goes all the way to the 28. And a 30-plus yard gain to begin this drive.
It's been big play after big play for Neshaminy in this game tonight, which if you're OJR, you were looking at. You got the playmakers all over the field.
Eckert has the option to pitch. He won't do it, and he doesn't need to. Another first down for the Skins. They move the chains on back-to-back plays. And Neshaminy, they've got their sights set on a 2-score lead.
Picks up another Neshaminy first down.
Here comes that crucial play number 3 of the drive. Neshaminy on the 17. Eckert, quarterback keeper, right up the gut. Three's company is the theme. The 3rd touchdown drive of 3 plays for Neshaminy on the night. And they go on top 34-21.
Well, what can you say about Michael Eckert? Once again, back-to-back weeks, has just put this offense on his back and delivered time and time again, as he continues to show why he's one of the better quarterbacks in 6A.
Busick makes good on his 5th extra point try of the night. And just like last week, Neshaminy has used the time period from about the midway point of the 2nd quarter to late stages in the 3rd to put up 28 unanswered points.
They've just done it, Jordan, just the big plays. I mean, OJR is just making it a little too easy for them recently here. And Neshaminy's just taking advantage of what they're given. Eckert is delivered through the air. He's delivered on that drive on the touchdown scamper. And he's looked so comfortable tonight. You can see he's very relaxed back there. The early deficit didn't bother him or this offense. The coaching staff has made adjustments well tonight. And they've attacked this OJR secondary and D-line and exploited it for 35 points here with 2:20 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Eckert has reached 30 touchdowns through the air in this game on the season, and now 10 touchdowns on the ground. That any good? 40 total touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
Well, speaking of total touchdowns, Michael Eckert was number 1 in 6A in total yards coming into this game, and number 3 in passing yards in the entire 6A division.
This one's fielded by one of the up men, Jonathan Miller, and he gets ripped backwards by Rocco Gregory. Before this drive starts, I'll let you know that at Peruzzi Buick GMC, where our business is you. Right now at Peruzzi, it's a year-end clearance sale on GMC Sierras. You can find them business Route 1, Fairless Hills. Peruzzi Buick GMC, where our business is you. Another drive that will begin from the 35 for OJR.
At the 35-yard line.
You got to wonder, Jordan, you're down 2 scores now. How comfortable is this Wildcats offense, which is trying to be more pass heavy, just like they were in the first half? They got to get back in this game quickly here.
They'll fake the toss, run it with Flynn, and he gets driven down. Dan McGarity with a beautiful open field tackle. And it stops Flynn after a short gain. Haven't called Dan McGarity's name a whole lot in this one. McGarity playing really well in the 2nd half of the season. How about this stat, Nick? Dan McGarity, weeks 1 through 5, just 28 total tackles and 1 TFL. Week 6 through 11, so going back to last week, 52 total tackles and 6 for a loss.
That's making your presence known, being all over the field defensively when your team needs you, setting the tone.
2nd and 8, fake the screen, throw it over the middle, pass complete. That's Matt Gregory, and he went backwards. And the ball came out at the end, but Gregory was down. Luke Howell there to get him to the turf, and it sets up another 3rd down. And late stages, 3rd quarter, you've given up 28 straight points. This is kind of a gotta-have-it 3rd down right here. Third and 4 for the Wildcats from their own 41. Looking to avoid a 3-and-out. Flynn, quick throw, pass is caught right at the marker. And who else but Matt Gregory, his favorite target. They hook up once again, and they have just enough to move the chains. Now the clock rolling inside of a minute, perhaps just 2 or 3 more plays before we head to the 4th quarter and what could be a very exciting finish with a trip to the District 1 6A semifinals on the line. 1st and 10, it's a handoff, it's Graham. He breaks through the linebacking core and then gets tackled down by Mike Sassano and Rocco Gregory. And for Graham, on his first touch since the fumble, he picks up 8. And OJR does not have to run this play. There's about 3 seconds separating the clocks. Now down by 14, they may very well want to. They do. It's 2nd and 2, and it's Graham bouncing to the outside, turns the corner. Makai Graham has a 1st down, and that might get 15 extra yards. It will. Late hit on Nick Sassano.
And you can't do that from the senior. Not like him to do that in a big spot there.
It's the 2nd late hit out of bounds called against Neshaminy in this one. I mean, Graham was essentially giving himself up. He was on the white paint out of bounds. And I know the Neshaminy fans are in disagreement, but do believe that is the correct call right there.
It is. Yeah, absolutely is. He was well out of bounds.
It's the playoffs, so of course, you know, energy's amped up here.
Tensions are high.
Tensions are high. You want every play and every call to go your way.
Penalty goes against Neshaminy, first down and 10.
And now we all relax for this 1st and 10 from the 15. Flynn will keep it, eludes one man, tries to fake out another, and he's shoved out of bounds by Brock Williams. And some fancy moves that time from Flynn as time runs out on this 3rd quarter. 36 minutes down, just 12 to go to decide who moves on to the District 1 6A semifinals. Neshaminy up 35-21. OJR is driving. We'll be back with the final quarter of action from Heartbreak Ridge right after this on WBCB.
There really is nothing like a home team advantage. That's why Team Toyota makes a great choice for your next vehicle purchase or service. With our MVP pricing guarantee, teammate rewards program, and streamlined customer experience. Our award-winning operation ensures that you can trust our process. A home team advantage is nothing without the community. Our employees are part of our family, part of your town, and we're all part of the team. We're always here for you at one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, and Glen Mills.
1490 WBCB, Levittown and Trenton, and video stream live at WBCBsports.com. Your home for the best local sports in Bucks and Mercer counties.
Back here from Heartbreak Ridge, we've got some score updates before we get this 4th quarter underway. Penridge has punched their ticket to the semifinals. The number 1 seed taking down Downingtown East 21-9. North Penn in cruise control up 36-14 on Souderton. Winner of this game most likely is going to take the trip to Lansdale next week. And Coatesville in control over Council Rock South, up 14-0 with about 2 minutes to go in that one. This is pretty much the only game that hangs in the balance. Neshaminy up by 14. OJR looking to trim the deficit back to 1 possession. Both teams have trailed by 14 in this game. This is the 2nd time where that one's complete to Jeremy Daubert. I should say this is just the 1st time. Just the 1st time for OJR facing this deficit.
Jeremy Daubert on the reception.
Daubert went down behind the line of scrimmage. I think he lost a yard that time. And this has certainly turned into a gotta have it drive. 4 down territory, 3rd and 7 for the Wildcats as the 14 seed. A team looking to keep their Cinderella run going. They've already knocked off the reigning champs. Here's a handoff. It's Graham, and he's got nowhere to go. The Neshaminy defensive line continuing to lead the charge. Lucas Stewart and Carson Schneider right there to get Graham to the turf. And here comes 4th and about 6 with 11 minutes to play. Say no gain. They call it 4th and 7. And before this 4th and 7, we've got a whistle and we've got a timeout. And it's the first one burned by head coach Rich Kolka on that OJR sideline. And it gives me a chance to let you know that there's great food, fine spirits, and good times that are always on the menu. The Irish Rover Station House in Langhorne opposite the SEPTA train station. Irish Rover, that's your home for all Philly sports. And happy hour every Monday through Friday from 4 to 7 p.m. Located at 1033 South Bellevue Avenue, opposite the SEPTA train station in Langhorne. And don't forget, if you miss any of today's action, you can read all about it in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian. For your complete local and national news 7 days a week, it's the Trentonian, or online at Trentonian.com, the only newspaper serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County, 7 days a week. It's the Trentonian.
And also, Peruzzi Buick GMC, where our business is you. Right now, Peruzzi Buick GMC, there's a year-end clearance sale on GMC Sierras, 20% off MSRP, and Buicks offer at 0.9% financing. Peruzzi Buick GMC, located at Business Route 1 in Fairless Hills, where our business is you. Here we go, 4th and 7 OJR. Clock just barely inside of 11 minutes. They're down 14. They gotta have this. They've driven from their own 35. Here's Flynn for the end zone. Picked off. Or not intercepted. Brock Williams was there with the coverage. Neshaminy's actually going to take it, that it was just knocked down by Williams, and they will take over on downs. And Brock Williams, who didn't know he was going to be starting until today, as a result of the injury to Tristan Rivera, just came up with the biggest defensive play of Neshaminy's season.
Huge save by Brock Williams. Great read on it, too. He's able to get his hand on it and break that up, which looked like it could have gone for 6. Neshaminy's defense comes up once again here in this second half. Keeps OJR off the board.
The throw that time was well behind the intended target. Eckert scampers ahead for a short gain on 1st down. Tackled by a duo of Wildcats. That time it was Jonathan Miller and Jeremy Daubert, 2 of the leaders on this defensive unit. 2nd down and 8. And now Neshaminy looking to give OJR a taste of their own medicine. They want to bleed the clock right here. Eckert another keeper, and again, not much doing. We'll see if they give him the benefit of the doubt and give him maybe a yard or so. Doesn't even look like he got that much. Out to the 13. And now 3rd down and 8. Neshaminy more than likely is going to be forced to go to the air here. Mike Sassano's been the guy all night. He's lined up in the slot at the bottom of your screen. On 3rd and 8, quick throw. It's Nick Sassano with some room. And we'll check the spot. He's got the first. 4 off coverage that time by OJR. And Nick, are you at all surprised that they continue to play this far back, especially on a 3rd and 8 play where your defense had a chance to just get the ball right back for the offense there?
Yeah, it really is surprising considering they've been beaten through the air all night tonight by Nick Sassano there and Mike on the reception. Yeah, it's just very surprising coverage. They're being very soft, playing more zone style.
Fresh set of downs. And now they can turn and give it to Klee, although Klee gets bottled up rather nicely at the 25. He kept the legs going for a pickup of 3. And Carter Klee has certainly been a huge part of this game. 2 touchdowns, and he's the guy that Neshaminy often goes to when they want to run the clock down. It's at 8:43 and ticking as Neshaminy holds this 14-point lead. A rematch with North Penn in the district semifinals is on the horizon. Can they get there? 2nd and 7, Eckert wants to throw. He's got all day, taking a shot again. Brock Williams makes the grab. It didn't look like he had complete control the whole way, but Williams got the puppies underneath it. And Brock Williams, once again, that's back-to-back weeks for him with a big play on a potential put-away drive. And if Neshaminy goes on to win this, you got to believe Williams and Lagler might have some bantering going back and forth in the in the locker room, all in good fun, of course. 1st and 10, Neshaminy now operating on the opponent's 30. And Eckert gets hit in the chest that time and dropped for a loss. Jeremy Daubert again, along with one of the defensive linemen, Riley Curlin, as this OJR defense is starting to snuff out these quarterback runs a little bit.
Yeah, Neshaminy just trying to kind of keep the time on their side and kind of slowly be methodical with their running attack. Don't need a big play per se. They did on that pass, or that reception by Williams. But Neshaminy just trying to control the clock here. Melt it down what they can, small yards, 2-3 at a time.
Clock rolling as it edges its way closer to 7 minutes to go. They feel like a touchdown here could be a dagger. And here's a handoff with Williams, the speedy junior, around the edge on the jet sweep. He's going to be about a yard, maybe 2 yards short of what he needed. We saw them use that jet sweep with Mike Sassano a couple of times last week, and now Williams gets involved here in the fourth quarter in the quarterfinals.
8-yard gain on the play. 3rd down and 3.
He went out of bounds, which does stop the clock at 7:03, but it sets up 3rd and 2. Eckert, he'll dash ahead. First down, he's got a whole lot more. He spun down inside the 5, and perhaps for Neshaminy, they'll take that. Now set up deep in the red zone, and it allows some more time to come off the clock before Neshaminy has their eyes set on that red paint. Well, OJR couldn't snuff that quarterback run out. The down markers have not moved. Here's 1st down and goal. From the 3, handoff, Carter Klee. He keeps the 3's theme alive. It's a 3-yard run for his 3rd touchdown of the game. And Neshaminy, well, they go up 3 scores, 41-21 with 6:21 to go.
3 plays, 3 scores, up 3 scores, and a theme of 3s, Jordan, buddy. It's been, I don't know, you've seen any stat like that here in SOL playoffs, or excuse me, in the Suburban 6A playoffs.
It's like a Steph Curry kind of game with
yeah.
all these 3s.
Those weird NBA numbers you can get.
Busick is now 6 for 6, and Neshaminy, they're not tripling up OJR, but they are doubling them up. 42-21, and the Skins are starting to smell the semifinals now. And of course, if you really want to stretch this, the semifinals would be the 3rd postseason game for Neshaminy this year.
So it would be Neshaminy's first trip to the semifinals since 2015, if they can hold on to this lead. A decade in the making for this program.
That was back when there were only 4 classes. It was the Class 4A semifinals. Neshaminy looking to also do something they haven't done in 12 years, and that's win a quarterfinal game here at home. In 2013, they beat Springford here at Heartbreak Ridge, 56-17.
Well, also, too, speaking of that, I didn't think about this until now, that no matter the outcome of this game, it will be the last home game here for Neshaminy, as they will have to travel on the road if they are victorious tonight.
Well, they're certainly used to having to do that, right?
Yeah, they've been very comfortable this year on the road.
Fielded by one of the upmen at the 25 and shot out of a cannon as the ball came out. Jonathan Miller with the fumble. Neshaminy falls on top of it. It's Nick Sassano. And now the Skins even more well in position. Everything going Neshaminy's way here in the second half. Man, oh man, what a turnaround. After the first drive of this game, 3 plays, 59 seconds. Carter Klee, a 42-yard rushing touchdown. Skins went on top 7-0. You knew OJR was gonna fight back, but they really responded with a left hook. Scored 21 straight points to take a 14-point lead in Neshaminy. They've been in that spot before, down 14 in the playoffs. That certainly rings a bell. They've responded with 35 straight points, and that fumble could be the knockout blow. Here's Klee. Oh, wow, how'd he get out of that? Carter Klee staying in bounds, looking for the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown, Carter Klee, number 4. Houdini finds his way into pay dirt. Are you kidding me? And Neshaminy
pouring it on. It's 48-21.
Carter Klee just works just so quickly, catches you off guard, lightning fast. He's been using his legs and just a big, powerful back. He's been doing it all year. His 10th rushing touchdown now on the season.
How in the world did he escape that and then put the moves on enough, because there were still defenders behind that initial pile, and he was able to just prance his way into the end zone. No biggie for Steven Busick. He's 7 for 7, 49-21 Skins. And this has become the Carter Klee game.
This is how you etch yourself into Neshaminy history in these playoff games, a home game. And Carter Klee is doing it. And now listen to this, Jordan. You got a 30 touchdown passer in Michael Eckert, a 10 touchdown in Nick Sassano, and a 10 rushing touchdowns on the air from Carter Klee. What an offense it's turned out to be here in 2025 for the Neshaminy Skins.
And don't forget about the 10 rushing touchdowns for Eckert as well. I mean, it's 3 guys in double digits in touchdowns, and one of them both through the air and on the ground. Well, remember how fun that game against North Penn was? Back on September 12th, Neshaminy got their first home win in the Nick Felis era. They're now 6 minutes and 3 seconds away from trying to do the same, but on the road. Fielded by Jonathan Miller, and he's chopped down inside the 35. There on the stop was Russ May, one of the special teams specialists. And this drive will begin for OJR from the 34. Give the Wildcats credit, they kept on responding, but now with just 5:58 to go, down by 28, doesn't look like they're going to be able to quite get over the hump.
Yeah, they came in here with a 21-7 lead to start the second quarter. They've been quiet, held in check. I mean, they got to be scratching their heads, Jordan, if you're the Wildcats or a Wildcats fan tonight watching from home. What happened in this game where you're up 2 scores on the road?
Flynn facing more pressure and dropped once again. Luke Howell, who's having himself a night. It's the 4th sack of the game for Neshaminy. And for Luke Howell, it's his 2nd sack of the season. Give credit to this Neshaminy secondary. Minus Tristan Rivera in this game. Brock Williams has done an excellent job filling in at corner because Nick Sassano is filling in for Rivera at safety. And they have locked up really the 2-headed monster that is Adam Stahl and Matt Gregory. Here's a throw to the outside, just as we're talking about them. Brock Williams with the interception. Can he get all the way back? You know he wants to. Stays on his feet, puts a stiff arm down, and finally brought down inside the 20. Williams right on cue. And this coffin has been nailed shut.
Things are just unraveling and falling apart for the Wildcats here in this second half. Self-inflicting wounds, drives stalling out. Offense has been neutralized by this Neshaminy defense, their D-line, as Neshaminy is in the driver's seat for a rematch against North Penn in Lansdale next week.
Brock Williams, who has just played sparingly on defense this season, mostly in there when Tristan Rivera has been out because of an injury. That's his first interception of the season. 4:59 to go, and why not if you're Neshaminy? Keep on trying to get in the end zone here. Remember, they've wanted their revenge. It was 371 days ago that OJR knocked them out of the playoffs in the first round, 38-24. OJR really poured it on in the first half of that game. They were up 35-9 at halftime. And the revenge-minded Skins putting their foot down here on their home turf.
This has got to feel good for Neshaminy to act their revenge tonight here at home from just almost a year ago. They are going to be the one to move on this season.
2nd and 5, it's a handoff to Caden Weaver for the first time tonight. And we'll see if Caden Weaver gets the lion's share of the carries now. Carter Klee, I mean, he's gonna get a well-deserved rest. However, you know, he's probably thinking about 5 touchdowns.
Yeah. Can you blame him? You want to chase something that's such a rare thing to do, especially in a playoff game. You're here at home in front of your friends and family.
Weaver is the back for 3rd and 2. They're gonna run the play clock down a bit. Give it to Weaver, he makes a cut. And I think he's gonna be about a half a yard short. Oh, then there's some extracurriculars after. And we'll see if any flags come of that. As the tensions may be boiling over a bit for OJR.
That was Makai Graham back in coverage for the Wildcats, the extracurriculars. Maybe you just assume the second half has gotten to him mentally.
4th and 2, it's really 4th and 1. Neshaminy's gonna go for it here. It was really that Makai Graham fumble, I think, where everything really changed. OJR was driving with a chance to go down, tie the game. Graham gave it up. Neshaminy hasn't not scored since, and Weaver's got enough for the first. And gotta believe they're just gonna take some kneel downs here. And not quite hang a 50 burger, but they're gonna be A-okay with the 49 points and a trip to Lansdale into the District 1 6A semifinals.
And can you blame him? I mean, we're gonna talk about that so much in the next week or so. Chamonix, a rematch on the road this time, a different North Penn team than we saw here in early September. And Nick Felix has done an immaculate job with this Neshaminy offense through the trials and tribulations, even with their 3 losses in pretty low-scoring games and close situations. They found a way here again tonight at home.
And to just continue with the theme one more time, that right there, folks, is going to be the first of 3 kneel downs that Michael Eckert has to make to end this game. Well, 3s have been all over the place, and our player of the game is going to be number 5, Carter Klee. 3 touchdowns on the ground, 1 through the air. We don't have official numbers, but he was certainly at least close to 200 total yards in this game. Find that interview shortly following the conclusion of this broadcast on our Instagram page, our Facebook page, and on YouTube as well. Eckert in victory formation. Takes the snap, takes the knee. And Neshaminy and North Penn, they're gonna go at it once more. Neshaminy got the 18-14 win in week 4 back on September 12th. Here at home, the first home win in the Nick Felix era. And Neshaminy, they are 2 wins away from being district champions. Still a lot to get through, but certainly a convincing statement here in their final home game tonight. One final kneel down, and consider the revenge enacted. Neshaminy wins it 49-21. They explode in the second half. And for the first time in a decade, the Skins are moving on to a district semifinal. They'll take on North Penn next Friday night on the road in the PIAA District 1 6A semis. They went down 21-7, and whenever they're down by 14 points in the playoffs, you might as well just give them the game right there, right? Neshaminy scores 42 unanswered points. They storm back, and they win this one going away, 49-21. Want to thank our sponsors who made portions of today's game possible one more time: the St. Mary Medical Center, the Revere Restaurant, Team Toyota, the N Club, Kent's Tree Service, Rob's Automotive and Collision, BCWSA, Kalinowski Performance Academy, the Trentonian, the Irish Rover Station House, and Peruzzi Buick GMC. Neshaminy
makes a statement and gets their revenge. They win it 49-21 over OJR. They'll play North Penn in the semifinals next week. And now one final time for the entire crew and one final time from Heartbreak Ridge here this season. From my broadcast partner and camera operator Nick Gallagher, for Brianne O'Neill, who produced today's stream, my name's Jordan Hirsch, saying thank you for watching and have a great night, everybody.